Welcome back, Cowboys Nation. You're not going to believe what just went down in Dallas, because we've got a bombshell update involving none other than newly acquired wide receiver George Pickens. The talented, often fiery former Pittsburgh Steelers star has made headlines yet again, but this time, it's not just for his play on the field or comments off it. It's his jersey number. Yes, you've heard that right. George Pickens' choice of jersey number with the Dallas Cowboys has fans buzzing, analysts talking, and insiders hinting at something much bigger happening behind the scenes at the Star in Frisco. This isn't just about a jersey, it's a signal. A powerful, calculated message that speaks volumes about what's brewing inside the Cowboys front office and locker room. We're talking about culture shifts, positional shakeups, and potentially massive decisions being set in motion for the 2025 season. Now, let's dive into the heart of it. George Pickens, who wore number 14 with the Steelers, will now be donning number 88 for the Dallas Cowboys. Yes, that 88. The sacred number. The number of legends. The number of Michael Irvin, Drew Pearson, Dez Bryant, and most recently CeeDee Lamb. This move stunned fans across the NFL landscape, and especially Cowboys fans who know the gravity of what that number means. It's not just a number, it's a legacy, an identity, a badge of honor that's been passed down through generations of dominant Dallas receivers. So why Pickens? Why now? And what does this tell us about the future of CeeDee Lamb, Mike McCarthy's offense, and the overall philosophy Jerry Jones is adopting going forward? First off, let's talk about what it means when a team allows a new player who hasn't played a single snap for the team yet to wear a jersey number as iconic as 88. That doesn't happen by accident. That doesn't happen without intention. For George Pickens to get that number, it had to be approved by the front office and likely even discussed with leadership in the locker room. And here's where the conversation takes a dramatic turn. CeeDee Lamb, who has worn the number 88 since being drafted in the first round of the 2020 NFL Draft, is currently in a tense contract negotiation with the Cowboys. Despite being the undisputed WR1 and one of the top receivers in the league, Lamb has yet to secure a long-term extension. The fact that the Cowboys allowed Pickens to claim 88 could be a direct signal about the status of those negotiations, or perhaps an indication that the team is preparing for life after CeeDee. That possibility, while shocking, isn't entirely far-fetched. Remember, Lamb has skipped portions of offseason workouts and, according to reports, has been frustrated by the slow pace of talks. The Cowboys front office, particularly Stephen Jones, has emphasized value and flexibility when discussing extensions, and those words don't exactly spell urgency. The acquisition of George Pickens itself, a player with WR1 upside, might have already been a contingency plan in motion. And now, with Pickens wearing number 88, the Cowboys might be sending a message: we're ready to move forward, with or without Lamb. That's not a sentiment fans want to hear, but it may be a reality we're all going to have to come to terms with very soon. Now let's talk about George Pickens the player. He's a physical freak, tall, athletic, and plays with an edge. At Georgia, he was a dominant downfield threat, and in Pittsburgh, despite some inconsistencies in their quarterback situation, he flashed WR1 potential consistently. But what truly defines Pickens is his attitude. He plays with a chip on his shoulder, and sometimes that spills over into controversy. But when harnessed correctly, that fire can be a game changer. Giving Pickens the 88 jersey may also be a way for the Cowboys to reassert their identity, a gritty, bold, flashy, and fearless brand of football that has been sorely lacking in the last few playoff runs. Now, let's pause and look at the reactions around the league. NFL analysts are already debating the implications. Former Cowboys legends have weighed in, too. Michael Irvin, in a recent radio spot, said that wearing 88 is not a gift, it's a challenge. He went on to say that if Pickens is wearing that number, it means the team sees him as not just a player but the player. Dez Bryant took to social media to express support for Pickens, posting a cryptic message about passing the torch to the right dog. That kind of language isn't random. It shows that this decision was coordinated, possibly discussed with alumni, and reflects something larger than just roster adjustments. It's a philosophical statement. Digging deeper, this could also suggest a shift in the Cowboys' offensive blueprint. With Mike McCarthy calling the plays and Brian Schottenheimer acting as offensive coordinator, the Cowboys' offense has been under scrutiny for lacking explosiveness in key moments. They were efficient in the regular season but disappeared in critical playoff situations. Adding Pickens and giving him the legendary 88 may be a way to reinvigorate the passing game. It shows a commitment to verticality, to physicality, to going after mismatches and dominating the middle of the field. Pickens thrives on contested catches, and with him in the fold, the Cowboys may now be planning a more aggressive passing approach. This could be the return of the deep threat dynamic that's been missing. But of course, all of this circles back to CeeDee Lamb. What happens now? There are 3 likely scenarios. First, this is all psychological leverage. The Cowboys may be trying to gain the upper hand in negotiations, letting Lamb know that he isn't irreplaceable. Second, they may genuinely be preparing to move on, perhaps via trade if an extension doesn't materialize before the season. And third, and perhaps the most dramatic of all, they may already have plans in motion to trade Lamb before the deadline, knowing they have Pickens to step in as the new face of the receiving corps. Each of those scenarios comes with massive ripple effects on Dak Prescott, the locker room chemistry, and the overall success window of the franchise. Speaking of Dak Prescott, his role in this cannot be overstated. Prescott has built a strong connection with CeeDee Lamb, and their chemistry was one of the few bright spots last season. Removing Lamb from that equation could destabilize the offense, especially in a contract year for Dak himself. But there are rumblings that Pickens and Prescott have already begun off-season workouts together, and sources close to the team say the two have quickly established rapport. If Pickens proves to be Dak's new favorite target, and with the 88 jersey draped on his shoulders, the Cowboys may be subtly repositioning their offensive identity to center around that connection. It's a bold move, and potentially a risky one, but if it works, it could unlock a whole new level of production. Let's also take a moment to acknowledge the fans' perspective, because this move has generated some intense reactions. Social media has exploded with divided takes. Some fans are thrilled, believing Pickens has the swagger and skill to carry on the 88 legacy. Others are furious, calling it disrespectful to Lamb and even accusing the Cowboys of manufacturing unnecessary drama. There are calls for Jerry Jones to clarify the situation, and some fans are even speculating that this is part of a larger marketing push away to create buzz ahead of a hard-knock-type media rollout. In Dallas, even the jersey numbers spark headlines, and this one might be the most polarizing in years. And while we're on the subject of marketing, let's not ignore the financial implications. The 88 jersey is consistently among the top-selling jerseys for the Cowboys, and making Pickens the new face of that number injects fresh life into merchandising. The Cowboys are a business empire as much as they are a football team, and a fresh 88 with a new name might generate massive revenue, especially if Pickens performs early in the season. That's not to say money is the sole motivator here, but in the world of NFL branding, nothing is ever truly accidental. Every choice serves multiple purposes: football, culture, business, and this one checks all the boxes. Moving forward, the next few weeks are going to be critical. Training camp is approaching, and all eyes will be on how the Cowboys line up. If Pickens is running with the first team, wearing 88 proudly, and building chemistry with Dak, then fans will have to start preparing for a very real possibility that the Cowboys are ready to turn the page. And if Lamb continues to hold out, or if negotiations stall, we might see a shock trade materialize. Imagine a scenario where Lamb is dealt mid-season, or even sooner, to acquire high-value draft capital or defensive assets. It's not outside the realm of possibility, especially with how quickly the NFL landscape changes. To wrap this all together, George Pickens wearing number 88 is far more than a style choice. It's a signal. A sign that the Cowboys are shifting gears, embracing bold moves, and perhaps even setting the stage for a new era of offensive identity. Whether you love it or hate it, this decision marks a turning point. It challenges traditions, stokes competition, and invites speculation. But above all, it demands performance. If Pickens wants to wear 88, he's got to earn it on the field. And if the Cowboys are willing to let him, then we're in for one of the most fascinating, drama-filled, high-stakes seasons in recent memory. So buckle up, Cowboys Nation. The number 88 torch has been passed once again, and with it comes the weight of history and the promise of change. George Pickens is stepping into the spotlight, and in doing so, might be pushing the Cowboys into a brand new chapter. Will it be glory? Will it be chaos? Or something in between? Only time will tell, but one thing's for sure, we'll be watching every snap. Thanks for sticking with us for this breakdown, and if you want to stay on top of every twist and turn of this wild Cowboys offseason, make sure you like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss a single update. We've got more news, analysis, and exclusive Cowboys content coming your way, so stay locked in. This is just the beginning.